What's up, guys? M. Jones back in the car for the first time ever. Doing a little in-theater review in my car on the way home from the movie theater. I saw the Avengers Age of Ultron tonight, and I must say I had a good time watching it. It was a fun, wild ride. It was about 2 hours and 20 minutes, barring previews and all that. I actually thought it was a fun movie to watch. It's always cool to see all the superheroes together. You know, I love seeing them work as a team rather than just have like their own movie. I always prefer it to be like the Avengers or the Fantastic Four or like the whole like Suicide Squad, which would be in a year or so. Like, I love how they all stay together. I don't like how they do all their solo stuff. So I really enjoyed that fact of the movie. I must say I still really like the Avengers from 2012 a little more than this one. I thought this movie was more of a setup for a possible third movie, so it was kind of like watching, you know, just like, for example, like the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Like, you know, there's definitely going to be a Part 2, and it's going to be way better. So I kind of felt like that in this one. I did enjoy the movie. I did have fun. Like, it wasn't like I was bored. It's just that, you know, it was kind of predictable. It was very predictable. But again, it was a fun movie. I thought the highlights of the movie were the new characters for this movie, which was the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, both played by Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, respectively. I thought they were really awesome in the movie. They played two Russian twins, and that was their powers. The Scarlet Witch kind of has powers that are very weird and trippy and can control people, and she emits like this red like substance. I don't know, it's crazy, but she keeps people pretty much at bay with that. And then of course Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is Quicksilver. He moves with incredible speed and can just deflect things and move people out of the way in a nick of time to beat like at the speed of a bullet. Like, that was pretty sweet. Like, I really enjoyed those characters the most. I always liked Captain America and Thor and Incredible Hulk and Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's character and all that. And like, I enjoy that, but I really enjoyed Jeremy Renner's character Hawkeye. Like, he played a very like just blue collar guy. Like, he has a family and he's normal and he says normal things, and he can't just like fly in the air. He has to like run. He's actually like, he seems very what's the word, mortal. So I really liked his character a lot, and I like anything Jeremy Renner does. So I liked Jeremy Renner's character Hawkeye, and I loved Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch as my favorite characters in this movie. They did a great job, and I always love James Spader, anything he does. Unfortunately, it was just his voice that was in the movie. It wasn't actually his face or anything, or actually like him as like a tangible thing. It was just his voice. So that kind of stunk a little bit, because I always like his character and everything. I like to see how his facial expressions are, because he's just so cold and just black-hearted as an actor. Like, he's an amazing actor, and I really enjoyed him as the villain in this movie, and his voice was just piercing, and just his voice kind of came from and just conjured into other different types of robots, and he would just change robot to robot as himself, and that was pretty cool. I thought there was some pros there, but the weaknesses and cons, I kind of thought where my biggest issue was watching when scenes were like serious, when they were fighting the robots and trying to get the Ultron guy and just do all these different things. Like, I thought they would do too many subtle humor bits where each character would try to have something, they would say something funny during like a serious part. It kind of took away the integrity of the scene, and it was just kind of like, well, this is kind of goofy. Like, I was all into watching it, and it was somewhat suspenseful. Then all of a sudden they would do some kind of goofy, humorous type thing. It took away the integrity of the scene for me. I didn't really care for that. I know it's more towards for kids and stuff and teenagers and stuff, but like, I think even them would kind of think, that wasn't really needed. I don't know. And I really thought that I understand like that they're, this is superheroes and they can fly and they can go over the cities and stuff, but there was just almost too much glass breaking and just too much stone just shattering all over these cities, like when they're fighting and stuff. It was just all it got to the silliness of like where Transformers was this past year of Mark Wahlberg. That was just maybe one of the worst movies ever. I hated it, and I didn't like how just like all these cities were just destroyed. Like and there's just, and that's it. Like it's just too much. So I really didn't like that. Just it was so redundant with it's more glass breaking and more things than that. And it just got to be a little redundant. And one of the things, this is kind of not so much what I saw tonight, but last week I saw an interview on The Late Show with David Letterman on CBS, and his guest for the evening was Scarlett Johansson, who was in the movie tonight. And what bothered me about the whole interview was she didn't seem to really know anything about the whole Marvel and DC Comics and what they've done for all these years to for people to see the movies and for people to get the comic books and stuff. And I'm not a comic book guy at all, but I do appreciate the movies they make, and I do appreciate the stories and the characters, that a lot of them have created, like Stan Lee and stuff like that. And she didn't seem to know anything about it. And then when David Letterman would ask her about the movie, she didn't seem to even remember or recall anything or give a shit. It just kind of said to me, all right, Scarlett, I see that you got a paycheck and I hope you enjoy the paycheck, because I don't think you gave a shit about the movie. And it makes me kind of think did they, does she really care about her role in the movie, or is this just a massive paycheck? I mean, I'm sure the paycheck's nice, but at least give a shit about the movie and know what scene you're showing or what clip you're showing to the audience, and kind of have a backstory to what you're talking about. She just didn't know any of it. And when I watched the movie tonight, I had that thought process in me, watching it I wonder, her acting in this, did she really give a shit the whole time they're filming? And you should give a shit, because you have massive fans and you have people that watch you. And I didn't like how she just was so whatever about in that interview last week. But in the movie, it's she cares so much. It took away the fervor for me. It took away a lot of the fervor. So I didn't like that at all. So that was really my three big gripes. But again, it's a fun movie. Get some popcorn, get a soda, and just sit there and have a good time. And it's definitely a movie to watch with your buddies. It's definitely a movie to watch at a movie theater, not just at home, because you got to see all the action on a big screen. Even in IMAX too. I couldn't imagine it on 3D. I'd probably vomit everywhere. But it was a fun movie. I give the movie a solid B. Nothing better than that. I say it's just a solid B. I'm really anxious to see what they do next, if they are going to make a third movie. In my opinion, they will, and I hope they do. And definitely, like I said, stay for the credits. There could be some extra clips going on, so make sure you don't leave for that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review of the latest Avengers: Age of Ultron. Again, I think you will like it. But the gripes that I had, I think I mentioned 3 of them. You'll kind of understand what I'm saying if you watch the movie. But until then, you take it easy, and bye.